Welcome everyone, good to see you once more on the channel, but this time live again. Yesterday as well, today as well. Main reason being that I actually just came back from a run and showered and everything. Not too much has changed on the chart itself. We have a push at the moment, so I want to observe what's happening at the resistance where we are at the moment. And yeah, also another reason is that not too much has changed. Of course, we have a bit of a push over here. We do see bullish CVD divergences on the 1 minute, but I'll go over this in a second. So we might just see continuation here, which, you know, is interesting to observe the reaction here at this resistance at the moment. And I have to go to an event to speak this afternoon. So I'm not yet sure if I can update you guys for 7 p.m. tonight, right? Because it's quite unlikely that I'm gonna make it in time for 7 p.m. tonight. So either it's gonna be an update later that night, or no update at 7 p.m. and then the next one is gonna be 7 a.m. next morning. So it's been quite interesting, and I just want to go through the local price section, because actually after the video this morning a lot has happened. Not talking about the push here, but in general what we're seeing on the lower time frame, a lot has happened. So let me actually run you through here. Might need the help of my Discord over here as well. Yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So okay, wait a minute. Let's first go what's the stream gonna be, right? First of all, we're gonna do some Elliott waves, but again, not too much has changed, right? So not gonna go through too much Elliott wave stuff, probably for the first bit, of course, and go through different time frames. But then feel free to ask questions, like ask me anything, Q&A type of thing, while we observe the price action. So that's on the plan for today's stream. Of course, it's always going to be a portion of Elliott Waves, because that's what we do here on the channel. Also, everyone, welcome. Good to see you around. Horizon Tech, you were the first one. Welcome, man. What Team OA, Aaron Morgan, Leluc, Ryuzaki. Welcome. Good to see you around as well. Laystone Road, good morning. It's good afternoon here now. And Soft Sport, hello. Welcome, Soft Sport. Good to see you as well. So one thing that we have to take into account with price now being here is the divergences that we have seen throughout this move over here. So, probabilities haven't changed. We have just a clear invalidation, right, at the highs. So if I open some of the stuff I've been posting this morning, look, we saw bullish divergences all the time during the move to the upside. Bullish dips at the low, again bullish dips later as well. This is the 5-minute chart. I'll show it on the live chart in a second. Bit of bullish CVD here, but with a wick, more bullish CVD as well, and bearish. So that was like a neutral moment, and now we're here. So the bullish CVD divergence has played out. And this is how it looks like on the chart with the CVD activated. So first we had bull here. Now the bullish ones have now played out. Price reaching the resistance area that we've been looking for. And then it's all about observing the reaction in this area. Golden pocket, point of control. There's a little bit of an order block, and the gap has been filled with which is this gap over here. So it's interesting to observe the reaction over here. Which is one of the reasons I wanted to go live as well, to see what's up. Not usually too big of a fan of the 1-minute CVD divergences and stuff, and especially we made a new high. So I prefer to look at CVD divergences now on the right side of this new high. But it is quite interesting that the yellow line, of course, dumps all the way to the downside, creating a bit of bullish CVD. But I'm not sure if it's fully, let's say, trustworthy yet. So let me actually write something in Discord at the moment as well. Okay, there we go. Quick little thingy here. So let's see if we get probabilities haven't changed. That's also interesting. All right, the probabilities in general locally haven't changed. So, okay, there we go. You know, we're working, right? That's what we do. Okay. So Dama likes people. Thanks, Dama. Davey, hello, good morning, afternoon, night. Queenie Core is here as well. Luke, WXY335, beginner question. Yeah, I'm going to go over your question. Absolutely. Dan, good afternoon, man. Good to see you around as well. So, could actually do this, right? But during the analysis, of course, I won't have it on the screen. But at least you know whenever I'm looking at the chat, you know when I am looking at the chat. So what I'm going to do is go through my thoughts live, of course, for you. And we observe the reaction. We hit the resistance area that we've been looking for. It's all about seeing what happens here, right? Now, in my case, whenever a resistance area is hit, it always takes a while before, for me, any setup will appear anyway. So, yeah, I'm not interested at the moment. Lower high in price, but no higher highs on the CVD at the moment with this high. So there's no bearish CVD divergences between what we see here and what we see here. So yeah, we just hit resistance and we'll see what's next. No? Let's zoom out, because what is more interesting actually to me is the medium time frame type of stuff. Because on the medium time frame, of course, we have the triangle, right? That's one of these scenarios, also shown this morning, could be potentially finished. Even though wave E is very small, you know, in a triangle, I've seen weirder things. So that is a possibility, with D being a complex structure in a WXY double zigzag, and then an ABC in wave E. The thing with this wave E though, and that's also what's making me doubt a little bit regarding a ABC on E, is the structure of this wave E. And that's why I also had other scenarios that I mentioned in the video this morning. So if we zoom in to this wave E, because wave D, by the looks of it, was complex, and then a 1, 2, 3 sideways correction, and also this move to the downside can be labeled over here as a three-wave structure, right? Making it a very interesting, very complex chart to the downside. But this wave E over here, look at this, right? It's very three-wavy. But if D is already looking complex, you can't have another wave. Like only one wave in a triangle can be a complex wave, right? So if D is complex, E cannot be complex. So that's why I also started to think about other scenarios, and of course we have very limited price action after this E is in. This is a very steep move, but now we have quite a long sideways range so far. That's of course not a problem. We're now at resistance as well, but this is something I just had it in my head, and I wanted to mention it on stream. This wave D over here, we counted it then as an ABC correction, and then in this wave D, preferably of course you want to have another ABC, so another 535 basically to the downside. And it's also not easy to count a 535 in here. You could have this as a 5-3 and then a 5 on the lower time frames, but you can see that price action over here in, like, for the triangle scenario has not been too clear in wave D and E. The ending of D and E, those are the two issues. So in D and a double zigzag, then you want to see another, so 535, then a 535, that's what you're looking for. So this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction and a 5. So then you have an ABC like that. Doesn't look too neat, but that is the way to count it for the triangle. It doesn't look like a single impulse as well, mainly because of the start. And we took the high over here as well. So it's not like you have a 1, 2 and continuation. So it's been an interesting chart. while price over here still reacting to our resistance area. Very nice indeed. So yeah, the triangle is an interesting scenario. Absolutely still interesting. Still one of the scenarios I'm definitely keeping an eye on. Invalidation, if this is E, should be on top of E. So actually, let me move it now because we don't really want to see price going above this level. E should be a simple structure. Actually, then a zigzag, right? So a 5, 3, 5. The problem is counting 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3. And then what? And that's my issue with the triangle scenario at the moment. It's the ending. So, you know, wave A, zigzag, B, zigzag. Okay, you know, wave C here, also in this wave B. This wave, yeah, A, B, C, or A, B, C. It's a short C as well for a zigzag. If you do this, this, and if you put it on this pivot, you don't even hit the 0.618. If you put it on this pivot, you still don't hit the 0.618, which for a zigzag is commonly a minimum target. So, you know, in a triangle scenario, this is your B, C, but now at the end, the probabilities for the triangle scenario with what I'm currently seeing at the moment, it's, I don't know, it doesn't feel completely like I want it to, right? So let me actually move this to the right. So while I'm talking about the chart, I can still see what you guys are writing. And I'll come back to the chat in a second. So yeah, this triangle scenario with just the way things have been developing doesn't look doesn't look like too amazing. So it's still a scenario I have on the chart, especially if price dumps. But at the moment, you know, it's way too early to call. We got to observe local reactions. But yeah, it's just long A, long B, quite a long C, relatively short D, but it's still okay. And then we have this E, which doesn't really look like an ABC zigzag if D is complex. And that's my problem, right? So that's why I've been talking about other scenarios as well. So yeah, and then we have, of course, the WXY or the WXYXZ. So WXY, ABC, or a sideways structure, WXY, X, and then we get a Z to the upside. So and Z can be a complex structure. So, or I mean, complex in like either a flat, or it can be a triangle, or not a zigzag. As if W is a zigzag, you don't want a zigzag in Z, because you can only have one zigzag in W, Y, or Z. So that's something to keep in mind as well. But this can at least be a wave A, for then a wave B, and then a wave C. So you can have a flat in wave Z, and that's something that I have, at least, you know, I have it in my mind where, yeah, if we move down over here in a zigzag, so an A, B, C, which is nice as well, by the way, for an expanding flat, where you then have wave A, right? Wave A can be many different things, not a triangle though, but at least you have a wave A, so that's fine. Doesn't have to be a 5-3-5, can be a WXY. And then you have a 5-3 and then a 5 wave move to the downside in a wave B, and then you have a zigzag in wave B. So let me put it on the chart here, not to confuse people. So then basically what you're looking for, let me put this like green over here. What you're then going to be looking for is this to be a 3-wave A, a 3-wave B, and then a wave C. And a 3-wave B is then a 5-3-5. The thing is that, so that's also very common for a wave B, by the way, to have a zigzag 5-3-5. And the thing that's very interesting is in an ABC scenario, wave C can have quite a lot of volume as well. So it can scare people for price moving down, but instead it finds support and moves up. It's all about the reaction here though, of course. In a triangle scenario, you can just dump. But this is a scenario that I have been playing with in my head, because for a wave E, I don't really like the structure here. So I'm not too confident that we already moved down, basically, right? We still might have some upside left. And even scenarios going to 29K are like, you still have bearish scenarios for even if you go that high. But looking at how sideways everything has been over here, going that high at the moment is not something that I'm looking for. So but this could be interesting though. A, B, C reaching like 27.2, some nice resistance here for then a move to the downside potentially after Z. And then you have a sideways complex structure. W zigzag, X, well, any correction, but also then a zigzag three-wave structure. Y is a flat. Then you have an X double zigzag, and then over here Z is another flat. So complex structure, right? We're starting to enter very, very complex market structure here, which is interesting because I mean, if you like Elliott waves, you should have a certain like passion for playing games or puzzles or, you know, thinking stuff. And also just playing games in general. For me, it's like playing a game with the chart every day. I mean, used to be a pro gamer anyway, so I like playing games, and it's just figuring out what's happening, of course. So yeah, this is definitely a scenario that I'm keeping in mind, right? So even if we drop, we cannot be too bearish and think, oh, there we go, yeah, right? We have to observe the reaction over here. And this target box, by the way, between 25.7, 25.9. And of course, it's quite a clear support resistance area here as well that price has to break. No? So even below the blue target box, there's still some additional support. So yeah, I definitely at least wanted to share this. Everything I share in my videos is literally what I am thinking at that moment. There's nothing, you know, there's nothing that I hold back, and especially in the live streams, I can elaborate a bit more and also talk to myself while doing analysis, so things get a bit more clear. And yeah, I just wanted to talk about the triangle. So, and this is the most bullish scenario, but in this scenario, preferably, you're still going to make a new low first before you go up. So even if you go down, you either go up in a wave Z for a wave C, and you're ending somewhere over here around 27.2, and if it breaks, you just go up for C or Y. And the reason why the probabilities are just not on the side yet for 32K highs has, first of all, different reasons. Let's start with the easy reasons. This low has been taken by Bybit with a big wick over here to 23.6K. Based on statistics I've recorded, very high probability all the charts will take it, so all the charts are aligned. Another reason is that you have a double bottom over here. This is a higher low, so you have low 1, a higher low 2. There's definitely liquidity here. That's interesting. Double bottoms, double tops in your trading, any time frame. Keep an eye on those because they are like magnets for price. So that's another reason why there's a high probability to see more downside. And also this structure. So an A, B, C, wave B retracing to the 382, common target for B, more rare for a wave 2. And then you have a C to the downside, and then you start ranging for a long period of time. Of course, the alternative is that you have an impulsive structure to the downside, which either 5 is in or 5 is not in. Preferably 5 is, by the way, then not yet in, based on what we're seeing more locally. But then you have a 1, 2, 3, sideways 4, and then eventually 5. Let's see how long 4 is compared to 2 now. So, okay, it's getting... we're currently at 2.5. So, okay, still okay for a potential wave 4 and then a 5. But in all of these scenarios, downside is expected. Having the low of a wave 5 here or an ABC is currently not like, it's low probability. Also, this as an impulse for the final wave 5 with this long horizontal structure, you know, doesn't look great. One scenario I haven't yet spoken about in any video, so that's a first one, is that this over here is your wave 5. So, you know, I have lots of thoughts, but I don't share everything in the videos because I can confuse people, right? As you can see, this low of 5 is lower than 3. The reason I take this wick for 3 is because this wick over here is not visible on some other charts as well as the index Bitcoin chart. So I prefer to use this low here for 3. 5 wicked the low of 3. Okay, you know, at least 5 is shorter. And then you have an A, B, wave C as a first structure. And that is why I then have, which one was it? This one. So, okay, I told you about this scenario already, but I didn't tell you the thoughts behind this scenario, right? Where in this case, you have a finished 5 waver But then you have over here a W, then you look for X, and then you look for a 3-wave Y, right? And then because W is a flat, you don't want a flat in Y. So Y can be a zigzag in a 5-3-5, right? Which can be or can act bullish. Like people might become bullish because you see impulses to the upside, but it's actually a Y and you go down, which is always interesting. And then the alternative is this 5 moving here, and then you have an ABC. But then I'd be looking for a bigger move to the downside. So that's where you reach like the 29K levels, but you're still looking for downside based on the medium time frame probabilities over here. So interesting stuff, right? What do you think? Interesting stuff, in my opinion. Lots of interesting things happening on different time frames. And what's this trend line? I have no idea what this trend line is. I put a trend line on the chart. Oh, wait, it's the low, no? Oh, no, it's that one. I see. We can remove that one. We can remove that one. So, yeah, and then more locally, the question, of course, is this move to the downside. We currently are at resistance, and I think it's always interesting to look at the reaction. One thing we see is price moving down, CVD moving down heavily over here on yellow. Higher low on price, lower low on the CVD, right? So we might just push through and look for a new high here, which already would invalidate the triangle anyway. So yeah, in my opinion, I think that is quite interesting. But of course, we also look at the CVD on the right side of a new high or a new low. So yeah, bullish CVD divergences have been building since the low, and I think the probabilities are actually not too bad to just see continuation with what we see here. But I want to see more info because we do have higher low on price, lower low on CVD, but this is the most recent high now. So what I prefer to see, if we look for downside or upside, is divergences after this high. I don't want to see divergences between this piece of price action and that piece of price action. I prefer to see stuff after this after this high to the right side. And currently, as you can see, there's not really much going on. If we skip out on everything on the left, price moving down, CVD moving down. Let's see if I can spot anything here. No. Yeah, more price action is needed. So okay, so that is basically like, pretty much the analysis and my thoughts on the chart, of course, on the medium time frame. So definitely I enjoy also sharing my thoughts with you because it also makes me think. So that's another reason why I like live streams. And the local price action, I mean, where's the scenario? In the video this morning, right? Is this a wave C, A, or a wave 1? Well, the most bearish scenario is going to be a move to the downside, right? And actually early this morning, I did look to I went to the 1 minute to actually have a look here. Like, can I somehow make this a 3-wave structure? Just in case. Because if this would be a 3-waver, then taking the highs is, then the probabilities of taking the highs here would increase if this is a 3-waver. Now over here, we have a bit of an expanding start. It's always rare, but this is 1 minute stuff. So, 3-wave structure to the upside in a correction. And then this is where you could have like a 1, 2, and either like 3, 4, 5, or 4, eventually a 5. So then you have a 3-wave structure here, move up. This could be a flat, by the way. And then you have your last little bit of a wave 5 to the downside. The main thing for me that gives probabilities, that increases probabilities to downside is simply this low. Even if this is a 3-wave structure, this is then a flat because you took the low. So you can't start a new impulse from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you take the low. That's not allowed. Or we're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but if this is a 5-wave structure and the probabilities are lower for this to be a wave C, you're going to be looking for an A, B, C. So it's a wave A or it's a wave 1, which means you're going to take this low as well. So that's why the probabilities are still higher from an Elliott wave point of view to take this low. Besides, by the way, 1, 2, 3 lows over here. You have a triple bottom, and Daywalt. I'm not sure if Daywalt is here, but he shared, what did he shared something with me? He shared some. Where is his chart? Oh, here you go. So he shared this with me over here. Let me actually open this. So on his Binance chart, perpetual contract, Binance over here with this low actually took the double bottom here on the left. That's quite interesting, right? It's the same scenario as on the medium time frame, where on the medium time frame, Bybit wicked through the 24K low, and many other charts didn't. But here, Binance wicked the double bottom, but many charts didn't, right? So that's actually quite interesting. Also increases probabilities for at least most of the charts, or, you know, just in general increases probabilities to go down here once more to also take this double bottom, because as you can see, we did not take it, right? We basically have now a triple bottom. Yeah. So interesting. So yeah, that is Elliott Waves for you in this afternoon update. And let's have a look at the chat, shall we? And start the Ask Me Anything stuff while we keep an eye on price action and everything that is happening locally, so that we can react to price while I also react to your questions. Okay. Where were we? WXY335. A WXY, okay, that's a good question to start off with. There often is confusion between a WXY and an ABC. So let me clear this one up, right? WXY, okay. Oh, wait. Let me do this. I'm gonna explain this. Do not worry. There we go. Okay. WXY and AB. So a golden nugget like this for me was, it changed so much in my counting and my success rate when counting Elliott waves. In the past, by the way, I didn't even use WXY. I labeled every three wave structure ABC. I just didn't. I just did not get WXY. But then I figured out eventually, which is something, just by reading, making notes, and studying Elliott waves, I figured out that, look. Oh wait, we have another one, another ABC here. Because I figured like there's a trick here. A, B, C, okay. Look, this is quite complex, right? Like, okay, what are we looking for here? It's all three wave structures. So first of all, if the first move to the downside is a three wave structure, and then you get a retracement. So if this is a three wave structure, the first move is either a wave W or a wave A. Okay. If it's a five wave structure, it is either a wave A or a wave 1. We don't yet know. Depends on the context as well, right? Three wave structure to begin with, W or A. Five wave structure to begin with, A or 1. Okay, we got that one clear. Second, if the retracement to the upside does not reach the 0.9 Fibonacci, you label it a wave X and then another 3. So this is a 3. This is another 3. And then another 3. Let me put this on the chart. I want to make absolutely clear. So, because I want to make sure that you guys 3, 3, 5. This is like a teaching stream. 5, 3, 5. Okay, here you go. Right, so wave 3, if you get a 3-wave structure to the downside, label it a W or an A. If you get a 3-wave to the upside, but it doesn't reach the 0.9 Fibonacci taken from the high to the low, label it an X and you expect a Y to the downside. If you have a 3-wave structure to the downside, but the 3-wave retracement does reach the 0.9 or goes above wave A, expect an expanding flat or a regular flat, for then a wave C to the downside, which is an impulsive move, which for an expanding flat should go below wave A. In a regular flat, you also expect wave A to be taken, and in a running flat, it's a 3, 3, 5, but this wave 5 ends somewhere here around like the golden pocket usually. Very rare, a running flat, so you don't hear me talk about that too much. If the first structure is a 5-waver, you get a 3-wave and you get another 5-wave, and it's just all about the second 5-wave structure and the length of this second 5-wave structure if we're looking for C or 3. But we'll see in time. This is something you can only see at the moment in time if it's a C or a 3. But a WXY or an ABC, to make it simple, if the retracement goes to the 0.9, think B. And then a potential impulse to the downside in a wave C. Now that you know the simple one, this is also a possibility because wave X can also go above the high over here. And then a 3, 3, and a 3, right? So then you have a sideways double combo. I hope that's at least clear. So, yeah. Another thing that's interesting, by the way, which I should definitely mention, now that I mentioned sideways double combo, is in a sideways double combo, wave W and Y are not allowed to be the same structure. In a double zigzag to the downside, a sharp WXY, you can have a zigzag in W and a zigzag in Y. That's allowed. So you have a 535 zigzag, X, 535 zigzag. In a sideways double combo, if W is a zigzag, then Y has to be a flat or a triangle. Wave W cannot be a triangle, but it can be a flat. So if wave W is a flat, then wave Y has to be a zigzag or a triangle, right? Wave X can go above the starting point of W. So even if you get a 3 and then a 3, it's either a B or it's an X. I hope it's, this is just Elliott waves in a nutshell. It's very, very complex, but here you can see in a nutshell how complex things can become, because we look at 3 waves everywhere now, right? But you see the similarities between this one and this one in structure, for example, or here and here. But a big rule that made a big difference for me is only if the 0.9 fib is hit after a 3-wave down and then a 3-wave up, can we think about a flat. You cannot have then a 3, 3, not reaching the 0.9, only golden pocket, and then like a 5. That is so extremely rare that you should, look, no financial advice and analysis advice, I suppose, but it's so rare that it's always better to first look at everything else, consider all other options, and then you might think, okay, it might be like a failure flat, as I like to call them, where you don't reach the 0.9, but that is so rare, guys. Like, it's not worth to go into that. Price pumping. What's happening? Okay. Long explanation. Kevin Brinkard, what's up? Coin from Malta here. What's up, Coin? How you doing, man? Good to see you around. Nice badge next to your name. Welcome, welcome. Mark, afternoon, man. How you doing? How are you doing? Nick V, Crypto Invest. What's up? We go down. I mean, we either go down, up, or sideways. Look, we are at resistance. Want to see some, some signs like market structure changes, whatever you use, right, in order to enter potential positions. But what I think is interesting is that the yellow CVD moves down a lot. Oh, we might have some bearish CVD now. Yeah, we do have bearish CVD now as well, locally. So over here, lower high on price, higher high on yellow. Bearish CVD divergence over here. Of course, yellow also has over here higher low in price, lower low, but I prefer looking on the right side. So let's see, right? I don't know. It's a mix at the moment. If price takes this high, the bearish CVD divergences locally are invalidated. So yeah. At the moment, probabilities from an Elliott Wave point of view, look, yeah, I mean, we are at resistance. Like, the thing is, now I want to observe the reaction here, and we do have bullish CVD divergence. We have some little bearish CVD divergence. I love using CVD, so yeah, it's a bit of a mix. Let me actually make a screenshot here. So if you ever see these pictures in Discord, this is how I make them. So then you do this and whoop, whoop. So here you can clearly see, right, it's a bit of a mix. But one is on the right side of the high and the other one is on the left side of the high. And what I mean with that, the bearish one is here, the bullish one is here, but the bearish one is on the right side of that high. So which usually gives probabilities to the one on the right. But yeah, I'll quickly do. Oh, brush. Oh, damn! I lost my drawing. Koenz at work. Okay. Hoppala. The Koala Gamer. Everyone knows Mark Dutch, but Koala Gamer was here before, so I know you two know each other. Good afternoon, Timo. What's up? How you doing? ETH made a new high. Oh, we can have a look at ETH in a second. Smash the thumbs up. Thanks, man. Is Andy here? I don't know. I don't know, but we are sometimes in touch on, like last time we were in touch was during my holiday in South Africa. Thanks to Mark Dutch, by the way. Akkosi France 22, good morning, how are you doing? Good afternoon here. We kunnen ook gewoon Nederlands praten, dat kan. Maar dan kan de rest het niet verstaan. Kaveen Kavya from Sri Lanka, there we go again. Untapped golden pocket as well around the weekly. Nice scenario, thank you, thank you. The weekly, yes, correct. That is this target box over here. Golden pocket and the weekly over there. Between 25.7 and 25.9. So definitely an interesting area, absolutely. Where are actually the fundamentals of Elliott theory based on? It's based on a lot of research from Mr. Nelson Elliott. Lived in the previous century, and yeah, I mean, he is the one that developed this strategy. Let's see if there's any info. This is the book, by the way. Let me show it on stream here. Let me see what you guys are. Elliott Wave Principle, right? From Frost and Prechter. So let's see if I can find any other info here about Mr. Elliott. So Elliott Wave theory it's basically his surname. So no, I can't. No. And we fall. Maybe. No secrets with exceptions to your entry restrictions and triggers. Absolutely. Mr. Berg. Koenz is a god calculator. A calculator. Now that's a new one, eh? A calculator. There you go. I mean, look. Math was my worst subject at high school. I actually finished math on high school with a like below. In the Netherlands, we have a 10 rank score, right? From 1 to 10. 10 is the best, 1 is the worst. I finished with a 5 during my exams. I also had extra lessons in math as well. But look, like the thing with school is you get so much shit that you never use, and then you get the stuff that you're good at, right? Like in a whole year, you get some blocks that are like very easy and some are very difficult. I'm very good in calculating with formulas, like formula calculating, but I'm not good with like the lots of like inside stuff with, yeah, you get like the degree of these two corners, and then you have to calculate what the degree is of that particular corner in that shape. Yeah, I just didn't get it. I didn't get that stuff. But give me calculations and I'm better. I don't like, not with all the, you know, I need a calculator for log and all that stuff, but just normal calculations, not difficult. Please confuse us. We love to learn. I mean, that's how you start, eh? That's how you start. You're confused. At the beginning, you're just confused. How many likes for our Elliott Wave wizard? Thanks, man. I bet there's more wizards out there, but I'm happy to be one of them, right? Joao, Luis, what's up? How you doing, man? How are you doing? What is good morning in your language, actually? Timo Romain, everybody, where's the thumb? I see you guys can see all the hearts here and the emotes now, right? Pressing those buttons. Does DXY pulling back have any effect on your analysis? Well, DXY, watch list, DXY, 12-hour zoom out. I mean, not really, right? Like the thing is, like, look, so in my case, I have always counted Elliott waves on Bitcoin. Funny enough, I've never like only for practice. I have counted other charts in the past for practice, especially in the early days when I was learning. I'm trying on all sorts of different counts or different charts. But nowadays, I trade Bitcoin and I only trade Bitcoin. So I don't really have other counts on other charts except for YouTube Gold members voting every Monday during the coin coverage stream, where I then, based on their voting, the chart or the coin or the pair or the stock or the commodity or whatever it is, the one that is highest voted is the one I'll do that night, and I'll go from an empty chart to a full plan. And you know, with DXY, I don't really mind. You know, we had a few drops here. DXY going down can of course increase the probabilities of Bitcoin moving up, right? But then again, with the thoughts I shared at the beginning, I'm not so sure about that triangle idea. I might prefer other ideas, which kind of means the range will still continue even when you go to 25.8. It can still bounce in the support there. But for DXY, a very, very interesting area is between 109 and 110. Well, basically 111. So you can keep an eye on that area, I suppose. Trading portfolio, only Bitcoin charts here, right? Like, I don't do anything else. I just, sometimes look at different charts to see if they are aligned or not, but that's about it. CVD bearish is now cancelled by those candles. Well, actually the opposite, or at least locally. Depends what time frame we're talking about, but the bearish CVD divergence has now played out locally, right? We had over here on the 3-minute lower high on price. We had a higher high on the CVD, as we just saw. This is the target. It has hit. So now the bearish CVD divergence here has just now played out, right? There was some absorption of market longs in this high. There was also an order block here on the 3-minute, right? Those are 2 dots. A little bit of an order block. Bearish CVD divergence, maybe even like golden pocket area. Won't be surprised. Golden pocket hit as well. But it has now played out. So now the bearish CVD divergence is neutralized. As you can see, this low over here has now been taken. And that's the target. And then, of course, it can continue. But we always now say that now that the moment you take the low in between the 2 highs that create the divergence, it has played out, right? And now we wait and see if it continues or not. We got some GDP news today. Yeah, we got news later at 10 p.m. Central European time, that is. But the probabilities in general haven't changed till invalidation. Like, the probabilities are still higher for a move down, not a move up at the moment. But hey, yeah. Like I mentioned earlier, probabilities haven't changed. We just have a very clear idea that you're in validation right there, right? So, by the way, for the ones that weren't there when we spoke about the bearish CVD divergences just now, lower high on price, but look at the yellow line, lower, yellow line over here, higher. Look at my horizontal cursor line, right? Look at the yellow line. You see on the right side, it goes above my horizontal cursor, right? Bearish CVD. Also visible on the 3-minute, of course. So, and I prefer to keep an eye on what's happening on the right side of a new high or a new low. Looks like an ABC from yesterday's low. Yesterday's low, this is the 25th, this is the 27th. Yeah. I mean, possibility, right? Like, we're looking for corrective structures, absolutely. By the way, what was your name? Metchy HK. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't really look like a 5, right? So it might more be like a 3-waver, a 3-waver, and then another 3-wave, and potentially then a WXY. That's also a possibility. Another scenario is that this is your A or W. You now have a 3-wave structure, and an interesting area of support is not that, this, no, that, this, no, yes, no, yes. That's what happens if I don't order my put everything in the right place. But there is a little bit of support here at least. So this could like 3, 3, and then move up once more and then go down. That's also fine. The upper horizontal line is still resistance. Simple support resistance flip 786. So this is an interesting area for support to at least observe the reaction. But of course, this move is quite short in time, and this is starting to become quite long. Doesn't mean it has, it can't bounce here, but it's just something we have to keep in mind. So yeah, this is an area of interest to observe the reaction. If price gets there, of course, that is. The Minecraft call is... Oh, by the way, talking about Minecraft, yesterday I got a call, right? During the stream yesterday, you guys remember? For the ones that were here, I got called 2 times during the live stream, and 2 times I was like, yo, I'm live on YouTube. I cannot pick up the phone. Boop. Call me back at XYZ. And he was... So he... I had no idea who it was, but apparently he organizes an event in the Netherlands, in The Hague, where they are having a Minecraft event. And in Minecraft, what they're going to do is they're going to build all sorts of stuff, and a very, very cool event. And they want to invite me as a speaker to have, like, first of all, a 10-minute interview, and then speak to parents about gaming, how to cope with gaming children, behavior, what makes games interesting, and all that sort of stuff. People that don't know me, I'm a global keynote speaker. So I speak at many events across the world, also in the Netherlands, and my background is gaming and esports. I was also a medical student, but I never finished my master's. So I can't say I'm a doctor. I was in my 4th year. I do have 2 bachelors, Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Medicine, but I don't have a master. But you think we're related somewhere? You never know. Got to check the family tree. Buenos dias desde España. Buenos dias. That's it. Exactly. Thank you, Hugo Raul Perez. Perez, by the way, not really performing in Formula 1, everyone? For our Mexican people here, you got to hype him up. 100K sub when the bull market starts. Woo! I don't even know how many we are now. How many subs are we? 4,000. Maybe we already reached 4.1. Wait, let me not do it like that. Let me actually do it here. Because of course there's a lot of data that comes on the screen. What are we at? 4,091. That's the current. I never really look too much at the number. I just enjoy making content. But man, 100K, that sounds crazy, eh? 100K. Definitely gonna... So, I mean, when we reach 100K, look at us. We're at 4K, okay? 100K is still 95.9K away. And another 9 like... So, holy moly, right? A bit early now, so we'll see where it goes. But hey, if we reach that play button, then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna host an event, and like we can do like a multi-day event where I teach some Elliott Wave stuff and trading stuff, and we can have fun going to the city. It could be fun though. Oh boy. I actually got a question already a few times if I can host an event to teach Elliott Wave, like a training event in the Netherlands. There was this guy in my DMs, he slid in my DMs from the UK. He said, yo, are you planning to host an event? Because, I would come from the UK to the Netherlands to be with like-minded people that want to learn, that want to trade, and I learn about Elliott Waves and strategy, trading, creating a strategy, that sort of stuff. I mean, I didn't think about it yet, but I like the idea, though. Bom dia. Good morning is a bom dia. Very good clarification between ABC and WXY. Thanks. Shall we long ETH from 1500? Depends on your plan, Ismail, right? Is Elliot your brother? It's my cousin. My grandpa, my great-great-grandpa. Flotty, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you around here. Anton as well. There he is, catching a live stream. What's up? What is your thoughts on the 5-wave move where the third is not extended? Yeah, so a 5-wave move, if wave 3 is not extended, that is okay, as long as it's not the shortest wave in an impulsive structure. That's the minimum requirement, right? So you have wave 1, 3, and 5. Wave 3 is not allowed to be the shortest impulse. If wave 1 and a wave 3 are quite similar in length, then wave 5 tends to be extended. And wave 5 can extend to the 1.618 trend-based fib extension taken from the beginning of 1 to the high of 3 to the low of 4. Follow me? So you have a wave 1, you have a wave 2, you have a wave 3 that is quite similar to wave 1, you have a wave 4. Keep an eye, the rule is still the same. Wave 1 and wave 4 are not allowed to cross price action, right? And then wave 5 tends to be an extended wave going to the 1.618 taken from the low. Oh, yes. Taken from the low over here to the high to then the low of your wave 4, and then wave 5 tends to be extended. It tends to be also in an extended wave 5. Wave 5 tends to be the strongest and highest volume wave in an impulsive structure, which of course can be very confusing because you're going to be thinking, hey, this is potentially a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it's a 3. And then you expect another high in a 4, 5. But instead, it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you go down again in a corrective structure, or the trend is finished and you just go down in general, right? So the correlation between DXY and Bitcoin is only from an importance if New York exchanges are open. Yeah, it's also a good one. They open in about 1.5 hours. So Bybit didn't take the low in the 5-minute, and now there is bearish CVD. I guess like Dow, yeah, you were talking here, right? I think Bybit now took the low there. That's a, yeah, okay. It's good that you mentioned it. Like, that's the thing. Like, the thing with the highs and the lows is, I mean, the lower the time frame, the lower the probability. But the higher the time frame, the higher the probability that the charts will align and all the charts will take the same highs and lows. It's a good probability thing. Nice going on the math. It's not like, you know, it's almost like school, thinking about math again and all the extra lessons I had. Hello, Hasta la Vista Barbie. How are you doing? 409. What's that, Mike? By the way, everyone, Mike visited the Netherlands. While it was nice and sunny, he had a good time. I love to see it. He was sharing his experiences in Discord. It's nice, eh? Oh wait, 490. Probably talking about ETH, I suppose. Make it sense an impulse count at the low from September 11, 24K. It's not too long ago. Ah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so this is one of those waves. One of those waves. So first of all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can count an impulse here, right? And that is where the clarity stops. So 1, 2. In a regular impulse, you want to see 3, 4, 5 and no overlap between 1 and 4. Now this can be a 1, 2. The problem here is that this sideways move will have overlap. So okay, we have to think about a potential diagonal then, right? If we think about an impulse, so we do this. This is your low of 2, so we do this. Now for a diagonal, contracting diagonals are by far the most common diagonal. So if we take a channel and we take it from the low to the high, because you're like, right, if this is an impulse, or if it's a contracting diagonal, so it's a 5-wave move, then from the low to the high, and then to the low of 2, you do not want to see this channel hit. The problem is we did hit the low of the channel. So it's not a contracting diagonal. It can't be, but an expanding diagonal is very rare. So this increases the probabilities of this move being a 3-wave structure and not a 5-wave structure. So you don't necessarily have to count all the subwaves of this move to the upside to still get a good idea probability-wise, because there's no certainties. But you don't have to count every little move, of course, to get an idea of what the structure represents. Now, I've been there where if something's not clear, you're going to go to lower time frames and lower, and you're like, shit, I'm under like the 5 minute, I still don't know what's going on, right? And you try to count all the little things. But with some of these rules, like I just did, you know, you already get a better idea of the probabilities in that structure. So that's also why, by the way, in no video have I ever shown a sub-degree count of this move. Yeah, content secrets. Content secrets. Yeah. I have a bachelor in being a bachelor, just saying. I have a bachelor in being a bachelor, like bachelor parties. Bachelor and bachelor parties. Bitcoin at 100K sounds even more crazy. Yeah, I know, right? Especially when we were at 15K, 26K. Can you measure sub count with Elliott waves? You can measure Elliott waves on any time frame, from like the yearlies, cycles, to the 1 minute. Like John in our group, he loves to do the 1 minute Elliott wave counts. That's like his specialty is low time frame, so he goes on the 1 minute. My minimum is usually 15 minute or higher. Just a good 20 times. Easy, easy, easy. Press the like button, guys. Thanks for Farshad Farouk. Welcome also. Maynard Ross, Maynard here. He's in. What's up? How you doing, Maynard? Ismail, what do you want to share? You can always share it in Discord. I can have a look. I think we are in the ending. The ending of the sideways range, you mean, or the ending of this move down? Let's have a look at what's happening, right? By the way, for the pianist people over here, I recently came across a YouTuber, and he is incredible. I've been listening to his songs. So this is my piano playlist. It's not long, but it's some good songs. Patrick Pietzman here, he's on YouTube as well, and Peter Buka. But I know Peter already for a longer time. But Patrick Pietzman, sounds German. But damn, man, that guy can play piano. He's now making his own, like, composing, like, his own songs. Really good. For the pianist fans here. I want to learn piano. I like, in South Africa, the family of my fiance have a piano. And I really enjoy playing on the piano. And learning. Okay, so we don't have any bullish CVD divergences with this low here. So this one. But we do have them with here. Like this is the low for the bears. You want to see an invalidation. You want to take this low. That's for the bears, right? At least, hey, I mean, look, we were looking for resistance over here. Gotta love the target boxes, no? Boop, beautiful. Yo, QZ World, how you doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So just live for a little bit. I have to close the stream in a second though, because I still need to eat, have some lunch before I wait. Of course, we do not. I don't know what Hitler music is, but that's of course not something that I actually don't know if it's against YouTube stuff or not. But I also don't know what type of music it is. So I better just remove it just in case. But sorry, Mr. Burke, I respect you, of course. Like, I know who you are. But what was I? Oh yeah, so I still need to eat, have some lunch, and I have to speak at an event. So yeah. And I have to catch the train at 14:37, which is in about half an hour. So I have to leave in 25 minutes. Just leaves me enough time to have some food as well. Need to cook something. I think I'm gonna have I think I might go for like egg, vegetables for lunch now. I went for a run earlier, so having some egg is good. It's a bit late to eat protein after the night. I'm already home for like a bit over an hour now. But egg, veggies. I still have patties as well, but yeah. I'm fine. I'm late today. I will check it from the beginning. Yeah, feel welcome, you know. Thanks for being here anyway. That's very kind. That's very kind of you. Hopping in the middle of this Thursday. All good, Mr. Berg. All good. So, yeah, you guys kind of know what I'm looking for, right? On the higher time frame, it's the analysis part at the beginning. We are at resistance as it stands, right? Probabilities are still higher to see a 3-wave, or you're going to be looking for a 5-wave structure to the downside, right? But this support is very interesting because this could still be part of a wave B and then a wave C, as explained earlier, right? In an A, B, C. So keep an eye on this scenario because it's definitely an interesting one. The invalidation is if price moves above here before going down, right? Now, probabilities of going down are at the moment higher, as it's quite difficult to label this as a wave C. Now, a wave C is an ending structure, so then you would have an A, B, C, but this wave C did not take these lows, which is very rare, so then we're talking a running flat. So probabilities are higher. This is then a wave A or a 1, unless somehow this is a 3-wave structure, another 5-waver, but it's it's very difficult to count this as a 3-wave. So probabilities are higher. This is an A or 1 to then be followed by a B or by a C or a 3. So keep an eye on a potential bounce here back towards the upside. It's just something I'm playing with because the triangle scenario, as mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I don't like the end. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm feeling that triangle scenario still. Especially like if you take this high, the scenario is invalidated because this would be the end of E, right? So yeah, and yeah, we hit resistance, a nice reaction at the moment. Just above the target box, we still have this low over here, so you fill the whole thing, basically. And locally, yeah, we'll see what happens here, right? Currently, no divergences on the right side of the most recent high. We had some bearish ones here. These already played out. And at the moment, it's quiet. We had a 1 candle divergence, which is over here. This candle had more sellers than, is it that one? Yeah, more sellers than buyers. So the CVD in yellow goes down a little bit while price is moving up. But that's already played out because we moved to the upside. We took the high of that particular candle. It's just interesting to me that the CVD divergence is here and now potentially here. It's constantly bull, bull, bull. But yeah, we saw some bear here that already played out. But it's just something I have in mind. So I'm neutral. My entry requirements have not been hit so far, and also once this area is hit, it takes for me takes quite a while for me to have all the entry requirements hit because it's also a time thing. So yeah, it's we'll see what happens locally, but as it stands, the probabilities are still higher to look also for the triple bottom we have over here and look for at least a 3-waver, if not a 5-wave structure to the downside. So yeah, then we're gonna close it soon. I'm trading on BitGet. The low of the 17th of August reached 24,260. Do you think we can go there? Yes, absolutely. The low on Bybit is 23.6k, which for me would be a minimum target. Usually you fill the whole wick if it's a big wick. So all right, yeah. Quick look at Ethereum. That's a good point. I have no idea what chart I'm gonna have. On Ethereum, actually this low got taken. Big wick, but there you go. It fills the whole wick. So, and it actually swing failure patterned this high. But also on Ethereum, this does not look like a 5-wave structure. So you could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then this is, if you have like 1, 2, 3, but then your 4 is too deep. If this is part of a 4, reach the price action of wave 1, right? And if you try to make it something bullish, I suppose in a 5-waver, it's then expanding. So that doesn't make life easy for the bulls here. And in a double 1, 2, 1, 2, the second wave 1 is longer than the first one, so that's not too great. So it looks corrective. Double bottom here at the lows. Going down for ETH that far wouldn't be great though, because ETH already tested this area over here, this gap. And it already took the low. So if Bitcoin goes down, that's fine, but preferably, of course, like either wicking the double bottom, but closing below here, I don't know. I don't have analysis on ETH, so, but it doesn't look too great. This looks like a 3-waver. Yeah, highest volume in the top is very wave C-ish, very corrective structure-ish. The only bullish scenario is zigzag, but then you want another zigzag in 2, and that's invalidated because the high got taken. So yeah, this looks like a corrective move to the upside on ETH at the moment. Pleasure, Mark. Thanks for hanging out. Some also have 5 waves down, but have taken the high like ETH. Yeah. Well, you can count alts the same way, so the same rules apply. They are not leading nor following. They're just different. They can be in completely different phases or different wave structures. Good question, Sidiums, by the way. But yeah, for me, every coin is its separate count. Of course, I do think about Bitcoin in the back of my mind, as that is, of course, one of the the leading ones. But yeah. Daywald, what's up, man? Daywald, you're joining at the end. I gotta go. I gotta go now because I gotta eat and give a presentation. Good morning from Rio. Good morning, Spot de Cambio. How are you doing? And also, thanks for being here, but I gotta move. I don't use open interest, but I do know people that use it. It can help, but from my experience, it just makes things more complex, and I like to keep things simple. But it, some people use it with CVD, some don't. I personally do not. It depends on, if you want to add it as extra confluence. So for me, it's not necessary to know what's happening on the CVD with open interest. Good question, though. It's very popular to use or look for confluence between open interest and CVD. Leading diagonal could be very juicy. Yeah, absolutely. What's the probability for the weekly? 50-50 on the weekly time frame for both bullish, macro, bullish, and bearish. Looking for 39 to 50K. And then observe the reaction there for continuation, new all-time high, or rejection below 15K. Okay, everyone, you see, questions keep coming. I gotta move because my ass has to give a presentation in The Hague for a school. So that being said, thanks for being here. And I'm not sure if tonight at 7 p.m. I can give you an update because I'll be at the event. It's finished at 5:30 or 6, and then I have to travel home, and probably I'm gonna miss 7 p.m. basically. That's what I'm saying. So it's not likely I'm gonna be home before 7 p.m. So then the next update might be 7 a.m. the next day, okay? Unless some crazy stuff happened on the chart, I'll probably do a live stream when I'm back. So that I don't have to prepare, I just jump in a live again. But probably that's not gonna be the case. So because I might be home late. So thanks for being here. Daywald is indeed from South Africa. Thanks for being here, everyone. I hope you enjoy your day. Trade safe, right? Trade with a plan, strategy. Have your probabilities, based on statistics. Have your entry requirements. Tick all the boxes and then trade, right? Sensible trading. No YOLO, FOMO, or catching knives here. So yeah, have a good Thursday. I'll see you probably tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. So yeah, bye-bye.